The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. Hey guys, what's going on? Eric Sablon here with Burnt Phone Marketing, and I'm super excited. I've actually got a guest all the way from down under in the Australia area, and his name is CJ Flood. He's a husband, he's a father, an entrepreneur. I met him through social media. So again, don't knock social media. If you're in the right groups, you're going to meet the right people. He's the host of MLM Launch Summit. He also is the creator of the Soldier of Fortune, and like he says, he's a marketing nerd. So CJ, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm super excited to be here. Super excited to be able to drop some value at the start of 2020. I cannot believe we're actually here. But man, I'm really pumped to be here, man. So let's get into it.
Awesome. So I usually start off the show just kind of giving you a little chance to kind of tell a little bit about your backstory and how you got into the entrepreneurship and how you got into to marketing, but also, little bit about who you are as a father and a husband and a little bit about family. So just a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I personally believe I was always going to end up here in the game of entrepreneurship. I had a very strange way of getting there, but at the same time, like, it was always meant to be. So the first time I ever went to an entrepreneurship event was actually with Robert Kiyosaki, and I was in nappies. So I was super fortunate that my mum actually worked with Robert Kiyosaki back in the day. Both my parents were entrepreneurs, and so I just kind of grew up around it. And then, being a typical rebellious teenager, I was like, you know what? Stuff all that, I'm going to the army. I did that. I did 4 years in the army. And then I went out and I started when I left the army, I helped my dad in his civil construction business, where I applied a lot of the leadership principles that I'd learned, from the army. And we were able to actually grow his civil construction company by nearly 400% in less than 2 years. We absolutely blew up that business, so much so that it is true, you can put a strain on a business by doing too much business. And we ended up finding all the loopholes and everything kind of come crashing down. From there, everything in my personal life fell apart. And I had to go through a really deep personal journey to kind of come back from that. But in the kind of like the last 5 to 6 years, I've really started to come out the back end of that. I've kind of found my own feet, so to speak. So I started to get some momentum in my personal life, in my own goals, my own ambitions, started to dig myself out of a bit of a dark hole. And then obviously I met my wife. I had another son to a previous relationship, and we were this really weird, cohesive family unit right from the get-go. It was so strange, and people are always like, how do you guys make that work? And we don't know, but it just does. And now, like, fast forward, and it was like this moment from meeting my wife. She just said to me, like, so what are you going to do? Like, when we're in the early stages of dating, she's like, oh, so what do you really want to do? And I was just like, I'm playing so small now, and I'm playing so, like, there's so much more for me to go and do and fulfill. And nobody asked me that question for a number of years. I was too scared to ask myself. And that really lit the fire. And then kind of like 2 years later, we're together, we've moved in, and I call her up and I'm like, hey babe, I just signed up for my first MLM. I just joined my first network marketing company, leaving the company event like 2 weeks earlier. I'm driving to work. And I'm like, babe, you trust me, right? And she's like, yeah, of course I do. I'm like, sweet, I'm quitting my job. We're going all in on this thing. And by the way, don't do that. Do not do that. It was the worst possible way to go about it. But I really backed myself into a wall. And from there, I just started to realize that there was a better way to sell stuff. If people could sell widgets and clothes and real estate and skincare and like gadgets and anything else. Like, why couldn't I sell my MLM? I didn't have a product of my own, so that was all I had to deal with. From there, I went on to do some like really in-depth learning around Facebook advertising. Jumped on that early in the game. I started running ads for clients. Like, I didn't have a business of my own, so I was like, well, I'll just go and work for free in other people's businesses and just to learn. Like, so I just became a student of marketing. And this is about four years ago now. And I realized that was where I was meant to be. Like, marketing and selling stuff, like I could sit down with someone and we could talk literally all day about it. So that's kind of how I got here. It was very abstract. It's been a very up and down journey. I've learned so much. I've been able to do some really good things. I actually kind of only started to click it all together, like 12 months ago. Like, we had some success, but even not 12 months ago. And then it's like, it all clicked together again, like 6 months ago. And then it all clicked together in like 3. So it's like this constant evolution. We've been able to do some good things. We've done some consulting, run some Facebook ads, done like an agency and some freelancing, done some coaching. I'm super excited to really blow up this year with 2020. Like, I'm rock solid in where we want to go. But I just love how the fact that we came together, man, like, as you said, through social media, right? It was the crazy realm that happens. And I think there is so much power in social media when used effectively. So I'm really excited with where we're heading, and I'm super pumped. I've got the whole family bought in. My nearly 8-year-old, he's like, Dad, what are we doing today? And like, oh, what are you up to? And he'll hold the phone for me while I shoot a YouTube video, which is hilarious because it's like this all over the place. But I mean, it's really good. It's a family thing for us, and it's not a job. It's not a necessity. It's a calling. And I feel honestly super blessed to have walked the path that I've walked. Hasn't always been easy, I'll tell you that much. It's put a lot of interesting pressures on my life, but it's given me so much opportunity as well to move forward, to grow, to expand. And now to see that start to roll out through the people that we've connected with and touched and helped, it's truly no better feeling. Truly no better feeling.
Well, and I found that same thing is when you put your back against the wall, and it sounds like you made some adjustments, then you scale the business, then you made some adjustments, and you scale the business, and then it kind of like all of it kind of, and I kind of been through the same thing with you have, where we had like a family dynamic and it was really strange, but then it worked out and stuff like that. So I know exactly what you're talking about there. And sometimes the audience doesn't relate to that. Like, we have our personal life, but we also have our businesses going. And, a lot of people just, and it's hard because a lot of people just see us on Facebook like, oh, well, we're that person or that person. But really, when you get down into it, and that's what I love about these interviews, is when you get down into it, you get to see the person. Like, I always say dream, struggle, victory. And, you have the dream, and the struggle is what everybody can relate to. But I had a mentor on not too long ago, and he said, that's like what people fall back on. It's like what you talked about, that spot where you made that change and you basically springboarded into the next thing. So yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that we got connected. Like I said, don't sleep on social media, but one thing, what is the business that you're in, and what does your dream client look like?
It's really interesting, right? So when people ask me like, CJ, what do you do? It's like, it's often so hard to answer. So realistically, my main focus is right now, at the end of 2019, I pulled away everything around my business. I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. I did a big campaign right at the end, running up to my 30th birthday, where I shared 30 lessons over 30 days from my previous 30 years. And it was a heap of fun, but it was a really reflective process. I was like looking back on things and I'm like, Now I've always been kind of an early adopter on what's going on. So I'm like, I've been watching the writing on the wall with profile, social media around, like particularly Facebook and Instagram. While there's still a lot of power and there's still a lot of emphasis around that in other areas such as, groups and stuff like that, we've all seen it. Pages have kind of dropped away. Profiles are starting to drop away. Nothing frustrates me more than someone's like, oh, the algorithm changed. Only 25 people see it. And like, so it's like this whole education has changed around where we're going. So at the end of 2019, I really sat back and I'm like, what are we looking to do? What do we want to do? And why haven't we gotten there? Because the reality is, like, 2019, I didn't hit my business goals. I didn't. I'm a big dreamer, and I'm okay to say that. I probably won't hit my goals this year because I said I want big goals. Right. But at the same time, I was like, what was the thing that stopped me? And it always came back to the one thing was about getting more eyeballs on whatever it was that I was doing. Whether it be, for me, like, I'm big in the network marketing space. Like, I help people learn marketing skills to grow their network marketing business. Right. That was why I put together the MLM Launch Summit. I went out and I asked 10 top leaders from that space, 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, what would they do if they lost everything and had to build it all back in 90 days, which was freaking mind-blowing, mind you. But at the same time, like, I realized that every time I did something, every time I put something together, whether it be for an affiliate marketing business, my own business, a service, like going back over 5 years of really playing this game, 4 years of really playing this game, like it was always came back to that. So I went, righto, I need to do something different. So I pulled everything away. I got rid of all the complexity out of my business, and I started in 2020. I was like, righto, look, I've got Soldier of Fortune. Everything's going to be about Soldier of Fortune. For me, it's more than just a cool, catchy name. It's more than that. It's an ethos. It's a way of thinking for my dream person. My dream, I don't want to say customer, because it seems like it's more one way than the other. Like, this is somebody that I want to win. Like, this is somebody that I want to go and hang out with. Like, a Soldier of Fortune is more than a customer business relationship. Like, they're a friend, they're a connection, they're like, for me, I call them a bro. Be it a guy or a girl, they're my bro. Like, it's someone I want to go into battle with. And for me, I look at the game of entrepreneurship, it's a battle. And every day I wake up and I fight this battle, not just for me, but I fight for my family. And then I fight for my family's family. And then I fight for the people that they impact in their everyday life. Like, when I sit down with my 8-year-old and I explain to him the cash flow quadrant, he goes to school and he tells his friends about it, I fight for that. So it's this weird dynamic where it's like, it's this interlocking, overflowing business where it kind of goes between network marketing. So obviously I actively build a network marketing business. I'm actively in affiliate marketing, and I'm actively in my own info products, but they all encompass one another. They all roll around and they're all connected in some way, shape or form. So, I mean, that's kind of the overall essence of it. You could, if you wanted to give it a term, you'd call it internet marketing. Like, that would be the thing. But for me, my dream person, they're tough. Like, they are tough. They can put their back against the wall and go, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know one thing. I can't go any further back than this, so that's okay. They're not afraid to get up and do something and give something a crack. Right now, like I said, I pulled away all the complexity of my business. We just rolled out Soldier of Fortune show, which is going to be on Soldier of Fortune TV for the YouTube channel and Soldier of Fortune radio for the podcast. And that's like, we're working with that. And I'm actively trying to make marketing great, enjoyable. I can sit here and give value all day, every day, but I don't want it to be boring, right? Like, that's why I do quirky stuff. That's why I do weird things. You'll see photos of me hanging upside down, and, like, I'm okay to walk into a meeting with a shirt and shorts and thongs on. Like, some people call it the Aussie lifestyle, but that's just me, because if somebody thinks that doesn't work, like, I don't want to work with them. And I've had those clients that I did want to work with. I've recruited those people in my teams that I shouldn't have recruited. And it's been a very interesting process to go through that. So now I'm super strict on who I work with. I'm super strict on what I sell. I'm super conscious of how I help people. And, that's kind of the essence. Now we're in 2020. Soldier of Fortune is the main thing that we do, which encompasses basically info products and physical products, being in network marketing and the affiliate marketing space. And we're just here to help people. Right now, I'm living the journey in Soldier of Fortune to go from side hustle to 7 figures. That's my goal for 2020. And I've publicly said that on our YouTube channel, really poorly made YouTube video. Like, it was terrible. It was really bad. But I was like, done. I just got to do it. Yeah, it's done, right? But yeah. And that's the point, is like, because every time I help people, every time I coach people, be it, okay, like I've worked with solopreneurs that are just getting started. Like, I don't know where to go, what to do. I've got like this group of people and they kind of say I should do some stuff, but I don't know. Right the way through to, 6, 7, and 8 figure entrepreneurs, like where I'm consulting them. I've done everything from running Facebook ads, building funnels and writing email campaigns, through to high level marketing consulting, through to project management. So I've had this really weird background, and it's like, I just got a weird way of looking at things, which freaks a lot of people out, but also at the same time, it's very good because it helps me predict what's coming. And I guess that's kind of what we've done with Soldier of Fortune now. So like, all right, we need to make some noise because some people need to know about what's going on, because that's really what gets the eyeballs on it, right?
Right. And it's all about—
Sorry, that was a really long-winded answer.
No. It's all about the eyeballs, and it's perfect because 2020, you got the 2020 vision going for the eyeballs. I think eyeballs, and the way that you said that you encompass everything between the internet marketing and the affiliate marketing and the regular marketing and the network marketing. And then it's all about like this culture that Soldier of Fortune is building, because they're building something. Yeah. They're building something bigger than marketing and a product and this. They're building a culture. Like you said, I want a bro. I want a bro. If it's a girl, if it's a guy, I want a bro. So I want to build that culture. And they say family in business, but I really think the better word to use is creating a culture, a team culture.
Yeah.
It's almost like a professional team, like a rugby team or a football team or something like that. If you build that culture around that, you're going to get a home run. You're going to get a home run every single time, because they all have the same vision and they're all looking at the same goals. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard, like, I don't know for you guys, if you follow rugby at all or even know what rugby is, or if you guys even do, but essentially rugby is, it's our version of NFL football, whatever you want to call it, right? So out here, there's a couple of really big teams, and I'm talking about rugby union in particular. There's a couple of really big teams, but there's a really interesting story about the All Blacks, right?
All Blacks, yeah.
So, yeah, right. So it's like right now they're in this place where they've created when they were absolutely dominating. I mean, like, the Wallabies, so the Australian team was really hitting home runs in that space for a long time. But then it was like the All Blacks came out of nowhere, and over the course of a couple of years, they lifted the quality of their game so high, even though they had the same players. So what changed? And it was the culture. And what happened is a new coach came in and said, change up the team culture completely. So they would go to a game and they would play the game, and then they'd go back to the locker room and they'd be sitting down and like they'd all be pulling tape off their shoulders and like just getting changed and trying to recover after playing 80 minutes of full contact professional football. And then at the end of that, before they got on the bus to leave, they would clean the locker room. Why would they clean the locker room? They didn't have to. These are players that are earning millions of dollars a year on the highest level of their sport. They would pick up a broom and start sweeping it out. And then one day someone asked, like, why do you guys clean the locker room? And it's, nobody ever gets to clean up after the All Blacks. Oh. Like, we clean up after ourselves.
Right.
Like, isn't that just a mind-blowing way to think? Now imagine if you could get a team of people unified in a general direction to go to the same place. That's why I called it Soldier of Fortune. I didn't say Soldier of retiring really early so you never have to work a day in your life. Like, that's not what it's about. It's about fortune, whatever fortune is for you. It could be family. It could be health. It could be monetary. It could be whatever. Fortune, you decide.
Right.
But you fight for it. And that's the whole point. We get out there and we fight for it because it's a culture. And it's so spot on, man. And the culture is so much. And I've seen that time and time again in professional sports, in when I've been like managing teams, you know, and then obviously in our network marketing business as well. Culture plays a huge role in that market as well. It's like, so it's crazy. Big, big difference.
So, you know, we're going to kind of go a little bit off script. Because you do network marketing and because you do affiliate marketing, what would be 2 tips that you'd give a new network marketer that's like, I heard all this stuff about affiliate marketing and I heard all this stuff about network marketing, and what would be like 2 tips that you would be like, this is how you can blend the 2 together and make them make sense? Because you know, you're getting taught multiple different things, but really it's a transaction between it's a transaction, and a lot of people don't think of it that way, but it is transactional when they do their affiliate and their network marketing. So what would be the
100%
that you'd give?
I think probably the way to look at that is the reason why, particularly in the network marketing space, there is such a pushback on doing something else. It's because corporate wants to keep you locked in their business. Like, it makes sense. Like, they want to make sure they safeguard their team, safeguard their customers, all that sort of stuff. For me, I'm okay with adding other things in because I realize that I'm central to the whole thing.
Right.
So whatever I do, it doesn't matter what I recommend. It could be my own product. It could be an affiliate marketing product. It could be an affiliate marketing product from a different program. It could be a network marketing product. It could be another network marketing product. It doesn't matter because as long as it's central to you and what you're doing. Like, and I want to preface this. If you're like, so I'm a mad keen ClickFunnels fan. If you guys don't know ClickFunnels, it is a landing page software that I use, that I love, that the community is just absolutely amazing. I've been part of that for quite a number of years and I truly do love it. But you couldn't change me to a different software. You couldn't take me to somewhere else because I love what I do. I love that software. I love that community, and I will defend it tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was to go to somebody that was in the health space and all they wanted to do was lose some weight, and I'm like, oh, check out this cool thing. You can build a landing page. And they're like, what the hell is a landing page and why do I want it?
Right.
Like, so it's got to still make sense. And I think if it can still help people, then it perfectly blends, right? But if you've got a network marketing product that is health and you're selling weight loss, and then if you've got an affiliate marketing product that is, I don't know, say make money online, and you're trying to, like, it gets confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, without going into a full big, 3-day training where I've got whiteboards and notes, that's probably the easiest way to explain it, just as long as it makes sense. If you say this product can help this person to get to their result, that's perfectly fine in my book. If you're in the network marketing space, check with your corporate team. Yes. Everyone feel disclaimed.
Disclaimer.
Everyone feel legally disclaimed, right? Check with your corporate team. Always comes back to that stuff in that space. But yeah, honestly, that's how I feel about it. And that's why I'm okay with it. And my people are okay with it as well.
Yeah, if it's symbiotic, it's just got to be symbiotic to what you're doing. Like, you can't sell something over here, like you said, and then sell something over here. If you can't say it in the same sentence and they kind of at least merge together in some way, then it doesn't go together. You should, I mean, it's not symbiotic, right? So it's hard to sell that way. But you can, I mean, with affiliate marketing, I love it because you can suggest something, in turn get paid for it, but it's just a suggestion to that customer that they might be able to find a service that helps them. And I watch a lot of the Shark Tank and a lot of Marcus Lemonis and The Prophet, and they said they stopped a deal because it was going to cost too much money and too much time to educate the market to want to buy this stuff. Like if you're educating and creating the problem, there,
Yeah, right.
it's gonna be super hard.
You're always gonna have a tough time. And it makes me laugh. So like with what I do, I get to deal with a lot of different. Like I've got friends in lots of different network marketing companies. I'm a huge fan of network marketing or MLM or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
because I personally believe it is the gateway to entrepreneurship. Like for me, I know that my goals are bigger and bolder and beyond network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I realize that I don't have to create a product. I don't have to do any of that logistical stuff. So I'm okay to still make some money here for the time being. So when you're with that and like you've got a product and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's going to help you do X, Y, Z. And like the customer basically goes, well, that was never really a problem for me. Like you're really going to have a hard time. And I see it so often in the network marketing space because everyone's trying to sell to everyone, which is the reverse of what I say. And I say sell to one person. One, that's it. Like define that person so clearly and so like you couldn't get rid of them out of your brain like that because you can see it so clearly. Once you have that, then you'll be able to sell. It may take a little bit longer. Honestly, it may. Because it's a process. Like it takes time. But this is how you build a business around network marketing and affiliate marketing. Because online, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. It's the same process, different product, but same thing. Right. And that's the reality of it. So you need to realize that having that one clear person that you're selling to makes all the difference in the world. Because if you're trying to sell to 76 different people, you're never going to work, and it's never going to be a fun time for you.
Right. You're going to be convincing more than you're going to be doing any sort of recruiting or selling, or you're going to be doing a lot of convincing, and that's it's just tough.
I mean, for me, like I'm not the biggest producer in my network marketing company by any stretch of the imagination, but I also have a way higher retention rate than a lot of the other guys.
Think about it. If you're hiring someone every single day and they're firing somebody every other day, then and that's one of the biggest things that I've seen with network marketing is everyone's like, well, the churn is so high. I'm like, the churn is so high because the barrier of entry that you created to get into your team is too soft.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like I have criteria for people to go and join my team. You know, I have an application process. I have, a set things that I want people to do because it's not, I don't have their success on my shoulders, but I want to make damn sure that the people that I work with have the best chance of success.
Right.
And that's the biggest difference. If I'm just out there and like, if I was a health dude and I'm like, yeah, boom, like let's just go and sell some supplements and I'm going to the gym twice a day and I'm shredded and like I can help people in that area, it'd be a bit different because it's more generalized. But it takes a certain way of thinking to be successful in business. It takes a certain way of thinking to even jump on and do an interview like this. For you to be hosting these interviews is a huge, clap, round of applause for you, because the reality is it can be really friggin' scary. Like it can be.
The first one was, the first like 3 were crazy. And I honestly, just so the audience knows, every time I jump on an interview, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Like, I don't know exactly where it's going to go. I have a model on what it's going to do, but just know that I might be up here and you might have listened to a bunch of the episodes. I'm still a little bit nervous. I don't know what's going to happen, what we're going to say, but it's super fun. And it's just totally changed the dynamic of the people that I'm meeting. And honestly, we listen, you're a big ClickFunnels guy. I'm a big ClickFunnels guy. And we listen to Russell, and Russell says, if you publish for 365 days, your life will be totally different. And I'll tell you right now, it's different. Like, people are reaching out to me that I never thought would reach out to me. I mean, I still have some of those interviews that I really want to do, some bigger ones, but people are reaching out. They want to get on these interviews, and it's great. It's like, there's not that many people doing podcasts in Alaska. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm becoming one of the authorities in the podcast space.
That's hats off to you, mate, because it does take a lot to do that. So really be sure that you pat yourself on the back. And for anyone else that's listening and wants to start a show or has started a show, be it a podcast or a video, like, clap your hands, because damn, that's good.
That is good. That is good. Just the consistency is tough. I mean, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it can.
So I'm actually going to talk to you. I'm going to ask you, you've been in the entrepreneur space for at least 5 years. You called your girlfriend up 5 years ago. What's the one thing that you would have told yourself? And guys, if you're listening, grab your pens right now, because I'm sure he's going to drop some bombs right now. What's the one thing you would have told yourself that day when you said, I'm in for network marketing? What's the one thing you would have told yourself that would have scaled your business much faster?
Learn marketing first. Like, to sum it up, learn marketing, but like, there's so much there that I would have loved to have gone back and be like, first of all, it would have been like, no, you're not. Like, woo up. Just calm down there, mate. But like, I was frustrated. I wasn't getting the fulfillment from my day job. I was literally driving to work, and like, I was recovering from my second knee surgery. I'd packed on a bunch of weight. Like, I was struggling. Like, I was in a pretty rough spot for me. I'm like, I know that I needed to do something. So if I was to go back in that one moment and give myself like one bit of advice, it would be, in all seriousness, if I was looking at the whole thing, it would just be more consistent. Just be more consistent. I cannot tell you how many things I've done, how many things I've tried over these past 5 years. Like, I literally couldn't tell you. Off the top of my head, I was thinking back in December, there's at least 12 things that I've done between freelancing, agency, Facebook ads, chatbots, funnels, affiliate marketing for this company. Like, oh my God. So it's just like, just be more consistent with what I was doing, would be the thing. Because I realized, kind of the end of 2018, start of 2019, that I was an expert already. Like, I'd been struggling with this imposter syndrome, and like, oh no, I'll just wait till I'm making $100,000 a month, and then I'll come out and I'll help people about it. Like, it doesn't work that way. It totally doesn't. And that's why, like, back in, just a couple of days ago, started, Soldier of Fortune TV. I pulled out my iPhone and I shot this incredibly unscripted, terrible video. And I was like, I just need to get this done, because I put a deadline on it. And I said, right, on Monday it starts. On Monday the 6th it starts. And, here we are now on Thursday the 9th for us. And it's like, so it's this weird consistency element that plays such a huge factor. But I mean, I think I've started like 4 different podcasts, in different niches and different spaces. So like, just being more consistent would have changed everything for me. And I think that would be the one thing that nearly everybody could apply to whatever it is that they're doing. Yeah. Whatever they're trying to do right now, if you could just be more consistent, your results will show up. Whether I'm trying to lose an extra, few pounds at the gym in January, coming back up, lose that Christmas bulge, or whether you're trying to build a business. If you're more consistent, that will change everything for you.
It's like the Darren Hardy book, The Compound Effect. And I always like to skim over that book. It's a quick read, but literally it's just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And then you turn around and you're like, wow, I have 100 episodes. I have 30 episodes. My team has, I have 500 people on my team, and I just stayed consistent. I just literally kept going and kept going and kept going. That's a huge tip for the audience, is just really stay consistent. Like, get started is what everybody has no problem doing. Yeah. But it's the get consistent part that people are like, yeah, well, it was kind of hard, or that didn't go out the way that I wanted it to, so I'm just going to stop.
Or it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or whatever. And it's just like, but you don't get to decide what it is that you wanted to. Like, if you're talking about your business, like your customer votes, your audience votes, you don't get to make these, like, and this is a really good point. Like, your opinion doesn't matter. You don't get paid off it. Like, it really doesn't. You've got to be comfortable with what you're doing, in the sense of, like, you want to make sure that it's legal, ethical, and moral. But outside of that, like, it pretty much doesn't matter. As long as you can provide some value to people, you can help people. And that's, I think, a huge component of where I made massive amount of mistakes for a very long time. You know, like, I didn't get the success that I needed, wanted, or frankly deserved, purely because I wasn't consistent enough. Because, you know, I did all the right things. You know, I did all the right things, but I wasn't consistent enough to allow it to show up in my life. And that those results flowed over. So now it's like, you know, now I've made a rock solid commitment on what I'm doing for Soldier of Fortune. Now I've made a rock solid commitment on where we're going. Before, like, it was kind of flaky. It was like, oh, we'll see how we go, you know, and it's a bit different now. Like, everything got stripped away. It was like I started again. It evolved, right? It's like this whole process of evolving. It grew, and now I'm just seeing that consistency paying off.
You know, through flag, it makes a big difference. When you plant your flag,
right.
It makes a big difference. So I'm actually gonna. I always make a landing page for my guests. So it's going to be www.burnedphonemarketing.com / and I'm going to do Soldier of Fortune. So, I mean,
Sweet.
It's kind of long, but we want to make sure that comes through. So you guys will be able to do that. We'll also put all of the information to, you know, I want to give away your MLM Launch Summit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that on that page too, and I'll put that in the show notes. Because I was looking at that, and that summit is fire.
It's pretty good.
Fire. So we're gonna send something through probably ManyChat or through ClickFunnels to get people to see that, because it's amazing. So besides that, where can my audience find you, and what are you working on right now? You kind of already touched on it. But
yeah. Right now, it's everything about Soldier of Fortune. It's documenting the journey. If you want to find me and connect with me, depending if you're a watcher or a listener, either head to Soldier of Fortune Radio. We'll be on all the major podcast platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, Apple, Google Play, you know, so on and so forth. Or you can check us out on YouTube if you want to watch along. We'll be Soldier of Fortune TV over there. The whole thing that I'm working on now is literally just trying to walk the path. Trying to lead the people to strip away the complexity, because there is a lot of complexity out there. So it's just like, let's pull all that back. What are you doing right now, CJ? Every Monday, you know, I've said, right, I'm going in there. I'm going to do a screen share of all my stats for my business. How many minutes was my YouTube channel watched? How many subscribers did we get? How many new email leads did we get? How many people applied to join our downline? How many affiliate customers did we sell? All this sort of stuff. So it's like, I'm frankly just sick of we made $1 million from thin air. Like, okay, but how? How did you do that? So now it's like, I just want our content to be so rock solid and so much value that ultimately I want people to have this weird feeling where they're like, oh, if I ever see that CJ guy, I've got to be sure to pay him for all his free content that he put out, because I feel like it helped me so much. By the way, I don't want the money. I just want you to have that feeling. That's how much value I want to bring. What we're working on right now. As we move forward, I'm super excited. End of January, we're heading to Nashville for Funnel Hacking Live, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be good. You know what? We'll do an in-person interview, so you can come on Soldier of Fortune TV. I like it. Look at this. So this is all the power of social media, right? So guys, this is where it's at. I mean, for me, it's just about, I just want to provide value. I just want to walk the path. You can check us out, Soldier of Fortune Radio, Soldier of Fortune TV. Super simple. And then coming up next, you'll see some fun stuff coming from us. We got a few things in the pipelines, but kind of keeping it under wraps for the time being. But it's going to be good. I'm really excited where we're heading.
Well, I'll actually put all that information on the landing page so they can kind of get linked to where they're going. If they're a listener, if they're if they're a listener or a watcher, they'll be able to have both those links. So again, it'll be www.burnflomarketing.com/soldier of fortune. It'll be in the show notes. We'll get that all squared away. So the last thing I always do this question, but I'm going to shift it for you because I'm going to shift it for you. So normally it's what keeps you up at night in your business, but I want to change it for you today is what's the one thing that podcast, YouTube, walking off stage, everything, what's the one thing that CJ Floyd of Soldier of Fortune, what's the one thing that every time you leave the stage, what's the mic drop question? What's the mic drop concept that you want to leave with all of your listeners, followers, people that attend your events? Boom, what's one? What is the one?
Man, that is huge. I think probably the biggest thing is it's okay. Like whatever you're doing right now, it's okay. If you're up late, if you're up till 11, 12, 1, 3 o'clock in the morning because your mind's going at 100 miles an hour and you're like, oh my God, we could do this or we could do this and we can go here. And then next thing you know, we own a plane. Like, and you're freaking out like I do, then that's okay. Embrace your quirkiness. Embrace the thing that makes you you. For a long time, my business was really beige. It was boring. And that's why I stripped away a lot of the stuff at the end of 2019. And I was like, we need to go bigger. Like I have these weird ideas about marketing and creating these huge campaigns that sometimes flop, but sometimes work. But either way, it's fun.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, whatever you're working, whatever you're thinking about, it's okay. Wherever you're at in your journey, it's okay. Whatever you've done in the past, it's okay. Wherever you're going, it's okay. Whatever your goal is, it is okay. It is 100% okay, no matter what it is that you're working towards, what you've done, where you're going, how you want to get there, what the reasons are. Because I think if we have more of that understanding, we'll have more people that be willing to step out. And I say this in a metaphorical terms, is to pick up arms and fight against the false beliefs and the indoctrination they may have had as a child. They'll go towards those goals that they thought were too crazy. Like for me, the first goal that I ever set that I always still come back to, the one thing that is my guiding light, I was like 6 years old. I was going to school. I was hanging out with my friend. And the first thing I ever said to myself as a goal is I want to be a billionaire. Like that was me. I had no idea what that meant. No idea where that would lead me. And when people ask me now, why is that the case? I'm like, honestly, I think a billionaire, just to say that you've done it is like really cool. Like, or anything like that. So whatever your reasons are, just embrace it. And it'll be much easier on yourself in the long run. Yeah, I hope that answers you, bud. I hope that helps you really get that and just understand that because, I mean, there's so many other things that I'd love to say as well, but like, I think that's probably the biggest one, wherever you are, it's right. Okay.
That's big. That is big because a lot of people, like you said in the interview earlier, a lot of people are like, imposter syndrome, or I can't do that for this, or I can't do that for that, or my false belief is this, or I've never done that, or I'm not good at sales, or I'm not good at that. And sometimes people just need to say, dude, it's okay right where you're at. You know, your finish line is your new starting line. Let's run with it. Let's go. We can get you to the next level. All you got to do is lock arms and run.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, the way I look at it, people have had success from all walks of life. I'm a high school dropout who's gone on to the army, then on to construction as a concreter, and then as a project manager, and then to uni, and then so the journey that I've had is not the typical success journey, and that's okay because that makes me me. What makes Eric is his journey and his process. What makes you is your process and your journey. And I think if we all have a bit more understanding and compassion for that, we'll give ourselves the permission to actually have the success that we want and deserve.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%. Well, we're coming up on our time. CJ, thank you so much for jumping on, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the knowledge you dropped. I look forward to see you in Nashville. Hey, guys, remember, always, always, always listen to the whole outro because I always like to give stuff away for free. I do have the Network Marketing Summit that I produce, but also, guys, www.burnphonemarketing.com/Soldier of Fortune is going to be fire because number one, you're going to get a little snippet of CJ. Number two, you're also going to get links to all of his things that he's doing. Soldier of Fortune TV, Soldier of Fortune Radio, and the network marketing summit that he created. Fire. I was looking at the list. Guys, it's fire. It's so worth it. So like I said, always listen to the outro. And I thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. And guys, I'll see you on the next episode of Burn Phone Marketing Radio. See you later, and see you later from Australia.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on. See you guys.
All right.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. I know it's hard to find people to pitch or talk to when your warm market dries up. So what do? When I first got started, I took off like most of you did. Then you started to get that feeling of being that guy. Me too. So to help you from hitting that brick wall, I've created a summit with the top 10 network marketing professionals for you, 100% complimentary. Yes, it's free. I want to start off by building an amazing relationship with you. So no matter if you've been in the industry for years or you just got started, this summit is for you. So go to www.burnphonemarketing.com and get your complimentary network marketing summit. Again, that's BURNTPHONE marketing.com and get access to this phenomenal summit. There you are going to find 3 keys to building a solid network marketing business. Number 1, belief. Number 2, strategy. And number 3, action. So to get access, go to www.burnphonemarketing.com and get your complimentary network marketing summit. Again, that's burnphonemarketing.com.